Welcome to the August class of Making the Most of Your Die Cutting Machines. This month's class features using digital die cut designs that you can download from a variety of places, but today I'm going to show you how to use some of the die cut kits, digi kits available in the 2Ps store. So I've gone to my downloads and I have chosen this Project Cuts set from Jen Allison. And it's the multi-opening frames, and I'm just saving it. And for the purpose of today's tutorial, I'm saving it to my desktop. I usually save them, and I'll move this one later, to a file on my computer where I keep all of my digi kits, die cut sets, so that I can find them easily when I'm creating a layout. So I'm just going to save that right to my desktop. You want to extract all the files, which is what I was doing here, and save, and then I'm saving it. Then I'm going to click Finish. And there they all are. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my Craft Robo software for the Silhouette. Make those smaller. Okay, and here I'm in my Silhouette. You can see there's a new page. Right next to it is the little folder with the down button for opening a file. So I found my file, and these files, the files that work with the Silhouette, I believe are the GSD files. I'm not sure if the other ones, I haven't been able to open the other ones, so I'm assuming that these are the files that work for Silhouette software. So I'm just scrolling through the designs to find the frame that I want. And when I find it, I'm just going to double click on it and then click Open. This is a little bit easier to find the file in the list format. And you can see it imported down there in the bottom left-hand corner really small. So I went to drag the corner up and I noticed that the image isn't grouped together. This is just the outside of the frame. So that really isn't going to work for what I'm doing. So what I need to do first is I need to click the group button up there in the toolbar, the two little blue boxes like overlaying one another. And then I pulled one of the corners up a little bit. And then I right-clicked on it, clicked Position Settings, and hold the aspect ratio, and then for the width I chose 10 inches because that's what I want for my layout. So there's what it looks like at the correct size. So there's my first one, and what I like to do when I'm working with my projects is I like to open all the images I'm going to use to see how they work together. And I also wanted to see the grid, so I opened up my grid just so I could make sure I had the sizing and everything right. Here's the next kit that I'm downloading, and this is the Sunshine Kit by Lena Lam, and it has got some really cute elements, that little rainbow and the sunshine, really fun. So I'm just saving that again to my desktop, extracting all the files, and then once I have those all extracted, I'm going to go ahead and open up some of the elements in my software. And one of the great things about these kind of kits that aren't machine specific, these will work with your Cricut and Wishblade and other machines like that. So they're really versatile where we can all use the same die cut designs no matter what machine you have. So I really, really like that about these these die cuts rather. Okay, I'm going to find where I saved her file, and then I'm going to go through and find the design that I want to open. And this is the full rainbow, I believe. I'm going to click on that, and you can see there's an outline, and then there's a cloud, and then the actual rainbow stripes. And for my project, I don't really need the outline, so I'm just going to click and drag. You can see each one of these elements is separate, so I'll click up here in the corner. And I'm going to just drag and make a little square to select the cloud and the rainbow up at the top. Maybe here. There we go. And then I'm just going to click Copy up in my toolbar. And then I'm going to go back to my other screen where I have the frame and paste my rainbow. Again, I can click on a corner and drag it to make it bigger, but oftentimes I find it easier to right click, choose position settings, hold aspect ratio, make sure that's clicked, and then I chose 8 inches. I thought that that would be about the right size for my design. I went back here in a little bit and I changed that to 9. I just thought it needed to be just a little bit bigger to fit better with my frame. So here I'm clicking position settings again. Again, you need to always make sure that hold aspect ratio button is clicked or check marked, otherwise it distorts your image. So there's what it looks like, and that looks pretty good. I think that'll work great. So I want to open up another element from this same digital die cut kit, and so I'm going to go back to all the files, and I want to use Sunshine. So I'm going to open up that, just click on that, and again you see you have the background and then just the actual sunshine, and I'm not going to use the background, so I'm just going to grab my sun, click copy, and then I'm going to paste that right into my software. And I'll move that up in the corner to see how it looks. And it looks about right, sized proportionately, so I'm not even going to change the size on this one. Okay, I have all of my elements, I think, in here, except for maybe that border that I cut, and I chose to do that a little bit later. And I've moved everything over to the sides of my cut area. The cut area is in that red rectangular box, and I moved it out of the way so I can cut each individual piece on different colors of paper. So I'm starting out with the frame here, or no, I'm not, I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm going to start with the rainbow, and ended up, for whatever reason, I cut it out of the orange first, but I'm just moving the rainbow section over here, and I cut it out of some orange American Crafts paper. So you just follow your same steps for die cutting any design, and I always use index 90 when I'm cutting out of pattern paper or cardstock or stuff like that, and I cut out the rainbow. Then out of the orange paper, but I'm going to need it out of 4 other colors. And so what I'm doing next is I had some red paper. It was a back or a side B of some American Crafts paper, and I just left the rainbow as it was, but I also want to cut this title from Christina Warner, one of her designer cuts kits. It's a Love You, and it's sized at 5 inches in case that way you can see what size it is. And I followed the same steps and then cut out this out of the red paper. So you can combine different elements that go together. Same way for the sun. One of the strips of the rainbow is going to be a yellow with a little white plaid in it, or check box. And I want the center of the sunshine to be the same. So I ungrouped the sun image, and I'm just cutting the circle from that yellow paper, and then the rainbow. I'm going to cut that out. And I followed the same steps and then I just did the green and the blue stripes of the rainbow individually. Now I'm ready to cut my cloud. And I use some basic gray ledger paper for this. It's from the white ledger paper pack, and I just had the 6x6 sheets. So I need to turn it a little bit for the way my paper is positioned on my cutting mat. So I'm just going to double click in the corner here, and you can see the little circle, and then you can just turn your image. So I'm just rotating it a little bit. And then I have also opened up another kit from Christina Warner that has some journaling shapes, and they're over on the side of my screen, which you can't see. I just moved them out of the way of my cut area when I was cutting the rainbow. And it's a little cute journaling label with a tab on it. So again, same thing. I'm going to grab or double click in a corner and then turn it around so that it cuts the right way on my ledger paper, which does make a difference because of how the lines are on the ledger paper. I didn't want them going vertically. I wanted them to go horizontally because I'm going to add some journaling and some stamping to these pieces, and I didn't want it to look funny, at least to my eye. So now that I've done that, I can cut these at the same time as well. And then I just followed the same steps for cutting the rest of the elements out of the pattern paper. I don't really think I need to show you the rest of that. That would get kind of boring, I think. So here are all the elements. You can see I've already printed my journaling on one of the little tabs. I mirror imaged the craft note card there, or the craft colored label, so that the tab was on the other side, and that my journaling kind of got messed up my printer, so I ended up having to redo it, which happens from time to time. And then you can see this is the border I die cut. It was another Lena Lamb kit. She has all these great borders, and look at how intricate that is. It looks like a spiral notebook, and it cut just perfectly. There's the negative image of that. It just cut perfectly out on the silhouette. I love that. And of course, then there's the frame, and you can see I've laid my photos behind it so you can see what they look like. And then I've cut my rainbow and the cloud, the title, and the sunshine. So you can just see how all the elements look cut out from the different papers. And you can see I've even laid out a clear stamp there above the title, Love You. It's an Ali Edwards stamp. I just like to lay everything out and see if it's going to work together before I actually commit to adhering anything to my project. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to add a little bit of stamping to my journaling card, which I did end up having to reprint. And here's what it looks like reprinted. And what I'm going to use is there's a couple of different stamps, and you can use several of Ali's stamps in use different stamps together. She has a lot of fun ones, and so I picked a couple. Like this one says "There is no doubt," and then there's a little phrase that goes underneath it. And I am using some blue ink. It's called Pacific Point from Stampin' Up. It just matched the blue of the American Crafts paper really well. And what I like to do is lay my stamp where I want it on my project, and then I'm using a Fiskars stamp press. I really like it because it has a little grid and it can match it up there really nice. And I am just laying it right back over my project and then stamping it with the blue ink. And then I'm going to grab the phrase that goes along with this, and I'm going to lay it right over my journaling card. I'm going to use another Stampin' Up! Ink called Crushed Curry, and it's just a really nice yellow that again I felt like matched the American Crafts Junior line really well. The same thing, I'm laying it on my little journaling sheet there, the stamp, and then picking it up with my stamp press, or you could use an acrylic block, same thing. I'm going to ink that up really good with the Crushed Curry ink and then stamp that right below my other stamping. I missed a little spot with some ink, it looked like. So then I'll go and stamp that right there underneath. And there's what it looks like. I just like that colorful stamping. I thought black would be just a little too boring near the bottom of the layout where there isn't quite as much color. So that's why I chose to use some different colors of ink to add my stamping. So I'm going to layer the journaling cards like this. So I've laid them out a little bit. And then I'm going to add the date with a just date stamp from an office supply store to the other journaling card. I also added a little red stamped heart from an American Crafts stamp set to the journaling card. Now I want to add just a little bit of stamping to my cloud, and so I have another Ali Edwards phrase stamp here. Same thing, picking it up with my Fiskars stamp press. And I'm going to use some Memories black ink for this one since I'm stamping it right above the big red, bold red title that says Love You. So I'm stamping that right there. And that looks great. And then I'm going to go on to putting my layout together. And I've sped this up just so you can see me put it together but not have to spend so much time watching it. I've already pre-cut everything, and everything on the center of the layout is 10 inches long. So I put some pattern paper along the bottom of the cloud paper that I'd cut to 10 by 10, and then I adhered my die cut spiral binding paper and a thin strip of flag border pattern paper that I just trimmed from a large sheet that coordinates with this collection. I adhered my frame and some photos behind it, and now I'm adding those little notches that I like to do. This is with a Stampin' Up! Punch. I'm just sliding that under there and punching on both sides and adding the notches, and then I can adhere my the center part of my layout to my craft cardstock background, and I added a couple of Making Memories brads. And now I'm ready to adhere my rainbow. So I'm just carefully and quickly applying my little rainbow there. I adhered my cloud, adhered my journaling there down near the bottom of the layout. I guess I didn't do my cloud yet. I trimmed off the excess of my journaling card. Now I adhered my cloud, and I used some spray adhesive for the title. I just find that works best for intricate things like this. Added a die cut heart, also from the Christina Warner kit. It's the inside of a flower. Same kit from the as the I Love You. Added my sunshine. I put some foam adhesive behind the center there, and then added some embellishments, and that was it. For more information, please visit 2peasinabucket.com on August 5th.